The moment didn't feel scripted at all. No cameras zooming in dramatically, no director calling for a retake. Just a quiet pause between scenes where Wang instinctively reached out to steady Shen Yue as she stepped over uneven ground at the filming location. It was subtle, almost invisible unless you were really paying attention. But for those who have followed their journey, it was everything. A fleeting, unguarded glimpse into a connection that continues to blur the line between co-stars and something more. And before we go deeper into this story, don't forget to subscribe for more updates on Shen, because moments like this are easy to miss, but impossible to forget. The filming location itself was alive with movement that day. Crew members rushed between setups, lights were adjusted under the shifting sky, and the sound of chatter mixed with the occasional call for silence. Yet somehow, in the middle of all that chaos, Wang and Shen Yue seemed to exist in their own quiet rhythm. It's a dynamic that fans first noticed years ago, but here, on this it's audition, because this story only gets more interesting from here. At one point during a break, Shen Yue was seen sitting off to the side, scrolling through something on her phone. It was one of those quiet, ordinary moments that most people would overlook. But then Dylan walked over. Not in a rush, not making a scene, just casually like it was the most natural thing in the world. He leaned slightly to see what she was looking at, and whatever it was made her laugh. Not the polite kind of laugh reserved for cameras, but a genuine, head-tilting, eyes-crinkling kind of laugh. And Dylan, he didn't say much. He just watched her, smiling in a way that seemed almost proud. These are the kinds of moments fans live for. Not the scripted scenes but the unscripted emotions. And if you love uncovering these hidden interactions, don't forget to subscribe for more Shen updates. As filming continued, the atmosphere shifted into something more intense. The scene they were preparing for required emotional depth, something heavier than the light-hearted exchanges from earlier. Shen Yue stood quietly, rehearsing her lines under her breath. Dylan, a few steps away, seemed to give her space, but his attention never fully left her. When the cameras rolled, everything changed. Their expressions transformed, their voices carried weight, and for a moment, it was impossible to tell where the characters ended and reality began. It's this ability to connect so deeply on screen that has always set them apart. But knowing what happens off camera makes those performances even more compelling. And yes, if you're enjoying this deep dive into their connection, go ahead and subscribe for more updates on Shen, because there's still so much more to uncover. After the scene wrapped, there was a brief silence. The kind that follows something emotionally draining. Shen Yue exhaled slowly, her shoulders relaxing as the tension left her body. Before anyone else could step in, Dylan was already there. Not overly dramatic, not drawing attention, just present. He said something quietly, something that made her nod, and whatever it was seemed to ground her instantly. It's in these small gestures that their bond reveals itself, not through grand declarations, but through consistency. Through being there again and again, in ways that don't need to be announced. The crew, of course, remained professional. To them, this was just another day on set. But even they couldn't completely ignore the ease between the two stars. There's a certain kind of chemistry you can't manufacture, no matter how skilled the actors are. And with Wang and Shen Yue, it feels effortless. If you're noticing these details too, make sure to subscribe for more updates on Shen, because we're only scratching the surface. Later in the day, as the sun began to dip and the golden hour light washed over the set, the mood softened again. The intense scenes were done, and what remained were lighter shots, moments that allowed their natural personalities to shine through. Shen Yue teased Dylan about something. No one nearby seemed to catch exactly what was said, but his reaction was immediate. A mock expression of disbelief, followed by laughter that echoed just a little too loudly. It's this playful dynamic that fans have always adored. The way they challenge each other, balance each other, and somehow bring out sides of each other that don't appear anywhere else. And if you don't want to miss more of these moments, don't forget to subscribe for more Shen updates, because every detail matters. As the day came to an end, the set gradually quieted. Equipment was packed away, conversations grew softer, and one by one people began to leave. But Dylan and Shen Yue lingered a little longer. Not in a way that drew attention, but just enough to be noticed by those who were still around. They stood together, talking about something that seemed unimportant on the surface. Perhaps the day's work, perhaps something completely unrelated. But the way they interacted suggested something deeper. Comfort. Familiarity. The kind that doesn't come from a single project, but from shared history. For fans who have followed their journey from the early days to now, this moment felt like a continuation of a story that never really ended. And if you're one of those fans, make sure you subscribe for more updates on Dishon, because stories like this don't just happen, they evolve. What makes their connection so captivating isn't just the possibility of romance, though that speculation will always exist, but the authenticity of their interactions. In an industry where so much is curated and controlled, Dylan Wang and Shen Yue offer something rare. Moments that feel real. Whether it's a quick glance, a shared laugh, or a quiet gesture of support, each interaction adds another layer to a narrative that fans can't seem to let go of. And maybe that's the true magic of Dishon. Not what's confirmed or denied, but what's felt. So as filming continues and more behind-the-scenes moments begin to surface, one thing is certain. People will keep watching, keep analyzing, and keep hoping. And if you want to stay updated on every subtle glance, every hidden interaction, and every unforgettable Dishon moment, don't forget to subscribe. Because this story is far from over.